Hello everyone, this is part 2 of creating a suitcase lollipop holder in Cricut Design Space, and thank you for watching. Before we get started on the assembly of the suitcase lollipop holder, I want to show you why I changed the multiple score lines to just one score line, and what will happen if you just change the basic cut lines to multiple score lines. Okay. As you know from part 1, I showed you how I changed them all except for one row, and I wanted you to just see the difference in the two. And also, I'm cutting this on a scrap piece of paper because I went ahead and cut out all the other pieces, and I didn't realize until after I had cut them out that I didn't record that part. So I'm just going to show you this on a scrap piece of paper. Okay, it's going to start with the score lines first, and it's going to start with the handle first. Those are the handles. This is the first score line that I changed. That's the second one. You see how smooth it's just going across? That's the third. And then the next is the ones I didn't change. I just changed them to score lines. And you see, that's what it would do if you would just basically change them all from basic cut lines to score lines. And if you think about it, that would be time consuming, especially if you're cutting out like 12 of them at the same time. That could take a lot of time. That's why I said go ahead and change them all while you're working on this. And now this is a 100-pound cardstock, and what it's doing now is cutting each section 3 times to make sure that it gets through the paper. Take this off. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but see that scoring line right there, straight across, nice and smooth. Same with that one, nice and smooth. That one too. Now look at these down here. You see how it just kept jumping up and down? You can tell the difference. There's still scoring lines, but it just doesn't look as smooth as it does here, here, and there, and across here. I hope you guys can see that, the difference. Okay? Okay, so I have my pieces laid out here, ready to be put together. But before I start on that, I want to show you the supplies I used here. For these pieces here, I use photo paper. It's double-sided photo paper. I got it from Amazon. I like it because it's only 37 pounds. It's not too thick and not too thin, and it works great for also chip bags. The cardstock I got from Joann when they had that 10 sheets for $2 on sale. The dark blue is 100-pound cardstock. The light blue, I think it's just a little bit heavier than 65 pounds. So I'm gonna say I think it might be around 80 pounds. I got the bubblegum pops from Dollar Tree. Comes 27 in a pack. I have my craft glue here that I just transferred to a little squeeze bottle from the original bottle. And I'm gonna be using just my little ordinary tweezers here for this as well. One other thing I want to show you before I get started. In the first part one, I was telling you about leaving on the bleed when you do print and cuts. And this is the reason why. As you can see, it leaves. It gives you a little extra around each piece. If you can see that. When it cuts, when the machine cuts, that way it won't cut into your shapes at all. It leaves that little extra. Another example is this piece here. You can see that it came out of this piece here. And as you can see, it left that little extra around that piece, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about any white showing in the middle of that. This is why I leave my bleed on. Okay. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna start by folding my base here at the score lines. Let's start from this end. And just and I'm gonna glue this top piece on here first. If you're using glue, you want to make sure you get it all the way around the edges so that it'll stick down all the way. The glue that I'm using is just a craft glue that I got from Amazon. It dries really fast and it dries clear. Okay, this is the outside. And now I'm going to glue the images on top of the first layer here. I want to make sure it fits right. I decided that I wanted to put an image on the back of the suitcase as well. I do this on just about all the ones that I do. You do not have to put an image on the back, but I just decided to do it. And this is what the outside looks like so far. And now I'm going to get started on the inside. I'm going to start first by placing down the first layer here. Okay, now I'm going to place a layer in the middle of the suitcase, which would be the bottom of the suitcase on the outside. I did not place a layer on the bottom of the suitcase on this one, but you can, and I'll show you an example of that later on. Okay, here I'm putting my images in order in how I cut them because I want to make sure they match right before I glue them down. These two smaller pieces are these straps that go on the outside of the suitcase in the front. I am going to glue them down on the image layer, right down the side and top of that layer. I'm making sure I get it right on the edge of the image layer. And if you remember me talking about it in part 1, I used those straps to make sure I was placing my image right. As you can see, I did not allow my image to go under those straps. And it's also the same on this side as well. I'm just making sure that my strap is placed correctly right down the edge of the image. And as you can see, my image is not touching the strap at all. Okay, these pieces are going to go down the side right here. And I'm only going to put glue. I'm only going to put glue on this piece. These two longer straps are going to be glued on the back of the suitcase, right down the edge of the image that I have on the back, exactly like I did to the front. But they're going to be glued to the back, and they're going to show on the front of the suitcase as the straps to hold the suitcase closed. These two pieces are going to be the strap holders. What I'm going to do is fold them on the score lines, and they should fold into a perfect little rectangle. I'm going to glue them together and then glue them to the front of the suitcase, and that would be where I would place the straps to hold the suitcase closed. Once I fold it together, I'm going to glue it, and then I'm going to use my tweezers to seal it where I place the glue. And then I'm going to place it on the front of the suitcase. I want to have it not too close to the top, sort of at the top, but not too close. And I'm going to put glue on the back of the rectangle where I folded it, so that you can't see the folds from the front. I'm going to do the same thing with the other piece. I'm going to fold it and glue it together. And when I place it down on the suitcase, I'm going to try to align it horizontally with the one on the right. Here I'm going to put in the lollipop. And it really doesn't matter what type of lollipop you use. As long as that lollipop stick fits in that hole, you should be okay, because there's plenty of room once you close the suitcase. You're just going to run the suitcase handle through that slot there. Close it in the front. And then place the straps in the strap holder. Okay, and this is how it looks once it's done. You can use these for just about any occasion, for birthdays, of course. Or even for holidays. This one I did put a bottom on it. I just thought it looked cuter that way. And I didn't put the straps on this one. So you can use them for just about any occasion. I want to thank you all for watching both videos. I've seen this made in Silhouette Studios, I'm sorry. And I decided that I want to make it in Cricut Design Space. I'm not a Silhouette Studio user. I do have the business edition, but I just haven't had the time to work in it. And I thought that maybe some people would like to know how you can use the template and create these in Cricut Design Space. So again, I want to thank you so much for watching both videos. I hope it was helpful. If so, please remember to click on the like button below. And if you're not a subscriber, please click the subscribe button and click the bell and choose all to receive notifications as to when I put up new videos. And if you want to see me make something else in Cricut Design Space, if you have a template of any kind and you want to see me make it in Cricut Design Space, just let me know about it. And I will try to do what I can to show you how to make whatever it is you choose. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Again, thank you so much for watching.